One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet who millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tuesday evening show. Man, there's still so much going on. It was funny, I was talking to SV earlier in between shows, and we were talking about everything that President Trump is doing right now, and how I've been saying, and other people have been saying, that Trump is flooding the zone. Well, he's not flooding the zone. At this point, it's a full-on tsunami approach. He's going just balls to the wall, scorched earth. Let me show you a couple things that he has done while you guys were having dinner or so, in case you guys haven't seen it. All right, so he posted this on True Social, amongst other. Okay. I am pleased to nominate Bill Lewis to serve as judge on the United States District Court for the Middle District of Alabama. As a justice on the Alabama Supreme Court, judge on the Alabama Court of Civil Appeals, state court trial judge, and also assistant district attorney. Bill has proven his dedication to the rule of law throughout his entire career. He is a courageous patriot who will ensure law and order and always put our Constitution first. Congratulations, Bill. Bill Lewis will now has been nominated to serve as a judge on the District Court for the Middle District of Alabama, where I didn't even know that existed. All right, so he got done with that one. Bam, he comes back with another one. It is my honor to nominate Harold Hal Moody as judge for the Northern District of Alabama. Hal is one of the top commercial litigators in Alabama, a state that I love and won big 3 times, 2016, 2020, 24. Hal earned his undergraduate and law degrees from the University of Alabama and has developed an incredible reputation for being tough, smart, and fiercely devoted to the rule of law and our Constitution. The great people of Alabama will have a strong champion in Hal. So that's 2. Wasn't done. Then he nominated Edmund LaCour as judge for the Northern District of Alabama. And as a Solicitor General, Edmund has done a terrific job representing the great state of Alabama, especially in cases before the United States Supreme Court. Edmund earned his law degree from Yale and was a law clerk to Judge William Pryor. He is highly intelligent, talented, and will strongly protect the Constitution. Congratulations, Edmund. Not done yet. Then he nominated Robert Chamberlain to serve as a judge on the United States District Court for the Northern District of Mississippi. Throughout his time as judge on the Mississippi Supreme Court, state trial court judge, and state senator, Robert has proven his dedication to the wonderful people of Mississippi and our country's heritage. He is tough, smart, and will fearlessly defend our Constitution, ensuring liberty and justice for all. Congratulations, Robert. Still not done. President Trump posted this one. I am pleased to announce the nomination of James Maxwell to serve as judge on the United States District Court for the Northern District of Mississippi as well. Prior to becoming a justice on the Mississippi Supreme Court, James did an incredible job as judge of the Mississippi Court of Appeals and also assistant U.S. attorney. I know James will continue to make his state and the country proud in his new position by strongly upholding the rule of law and our Constitution. Congratulations, James. So President Trump, in a flurry of activity late this afternoon, nominated, 4 or 5? How many different ones? 5 different judges nominated today. I bet you the Democrats can't even look at these people. They're so all over the place at this point because they can't keep up as he, quote, floods the zone. And he continues to flood the zone, and it's going very, very well at this point. All right, so you guys are back here for the second show. And before we begin the second show, let me talk to you tonight about our sponsor of tonight's show. You guys have seen this. Today's show is brought to you by Jeanine. Are you feeling tired, sluggish, or foggy? It could be poor blood flow. Blood Flow 7 by Jeanine is scientifically designed to support healthy circulation, so you'll feel energized, clear-headed, and vibrant again. It's packed with natural ingredients like nitrocyanine, I hope I said that correctly, S7, and trans resveratrol. Blood Flow 7 works by boosting nitric oxide levels, a molecule that relaxes blood vessels, helping your blood flow freely to every corner of your body. And that means more oxygen and nutrients to your brain, heart, muscles, and even those places that might need a little extra help as you age.
They call it a lifting. They also use another word, but I'm not going to use that word. You know what that is? The word, it starts with an E. You know what the word is? If I ever used it, I'd be run out of town by you people.
Oh, behave. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Let's talk about the fact that President Trump incited an erection.
Explanation was not they didn't like Donald Trump. They said he participated in an erection.
With just 1 dose a day, you can reclaim your stamina, support heart health, and improve overall vitality, all without any caffeine or stimulants. Try Blood Flow 7 today and feel the difference where it matters most, inside your veins.
I think it's really important to be clear about what is going on here, and a relatively small crime problem is being used for specific authoritarian purposes that we know.
Okay, so some of you guys may have seen this video from this guy on MSNBC, and I had to include it in tonight's show because here we go with the euphemisms all over again. It's a relatively small problem. Relative to what? That should be the first thing out of any of these hosts' mouth. It's relatively small compared to what? If you're comparing it to Boca Raton, Florida, where I am, it's a magnificent size problem. If it's compared to where Robin's from in Murrells Inlet, South Carolina, it is a huge problem. So if it's a relatively small problem, can you define what you're considering relative? It's only a few people get killed once in a while. There's no big deal. I am sick of these people trivializing death. I am sick of these people trivializing other people's safety. For the sake of what? Trying to make points with the Democrat audience? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Understand. So let's be clear about DC does have one really big crime problem, which was the January 6th insurrection incited by the current President of the United States and his first.
I guess they're not going to give that up. I guess they have considered that, you know what, we're just going to ride this horse all the way in. There's nothing else we can talk about. Racism, fascism, Nazis, and January 6th. Dude, that horse is tired. It's very, very tired. And it's especially tired to people who have lost loved ones in Washington, D.C.
Act and coming back was pardoning all the people who tried to overturn constitutional republic order in Washington, D.C. When I go to D.C., I'm not afraid of losing my wallet so much as I'm afraid of losing my vote. I'm not afraid of losing my wallet so much as I'm afraid that my children's freedom to breathe will be stolen in a world where climate change policy is non-existent.
Now this dude's just being flat out rude. I just flat out rude. Hey, listen, I'm not afraid of my wallet. I'm afraid that someone's going to take away my right to vote. Well, are you from here? You're looking kind of dusty, so I'm not really sure if you're from here or not. And you're worried about your children, and you're worried about, in Washington, they're not going to be able to breathe because of climate change. I see it affected his hair, but so you think it's more dangerous for the kids to be breathing the air than to walking in Washington, D.C. at night? Do me a favor. It would make more sense if you just took your cell phone, left the studio, and walked down the street at about 2 a.m. in Washington, D.C. Some of these people need to be called out. They need to be called directly out and say, prove it. Hey, do a selfie. Yeah, so here I am. I've got the Flash Gordon hairdo, and I'm walking around Washington, D.C. It's about 1:30 in the morning, and pop, ow! Do it. Show us that it's safe. Walk down a few alleys. Until you can prove it, why are you going on television and saying it?
Afraid that the future of middle-class people will be stolen by the very things you were talking about, cutting the safety net, cutting Medicaid, cutting rural hospitals.
Right.
So there is carjacking.
And of course,
let me just finish. There is a carjacking
but you got to worry about two things. You got to worry about two things at the same time.
Let me just finish my point.
Meanwhile,
we need all the protection that we can get in the city because the city is really getting dangerous. A person like me at this age, I has to make sure to come home before sundown.
we are in a bath.
I don't know how you talk to these people. How you get on a set inside of a studio, wherever that studio is, and tell everybody who actually lives there, yeah, you got nothing to worry about. It's fine. I feel completely safe. I'm redefining safety, as one of the other people said earlier, but then you hear the residents are like, hey man, I got to get inside before it's dark. Is she lying? Forget MAGA, forget Trump. Are the people who live there lying? Judge Janine posted this earlier. Look at these 45 victims. All of them are 19 and under. All of them were killed by gunfire in the last 18 months in D.C. And tell me, once you see this, that crime is down and we don't need an emergency focus on crimes of violence. Now, the only thing she didn't do in this picture that she posted, the only thing that she didn't do is post a picture of the people who killed him. There's 18 victims right there. One of them in the top second row, as you can see. The top second row, here. Oh, they got it blown up. Yeah, look at her. Look at her. You think her mom, you think her sisters, you think her father, you think any of her relatives, you think that 3-year-old girl and her family at this point would say, no, it's fine. There's nothing to worry about. How do you kill a 3-year-old and have any idea that this city is safe? There ain't no 3-year-old kids dying here. Probably not in your area. And probably just for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. She was probably, I don't know, in a crib, walking on a porch somewhere, and then they decided to act the fool, and the poor little girl gets wasted. And these people have the nerve, the audacity to go on television and say, we have to redefine safety. I showed you that this afternoon. A woman actually said on MSNBC, we have to redefine safety. What in the hell does that even mean? I know one thing. That 3-year-old girl isn't going to fit in your definition. She's gone. Her life was snuffed out. And the guy sitting next to her in the glasses, he was only 14. Gone. I'm pretty sure the parents of those individuals would love to sit down with that guy and all the other ones on MSNBC and CNN and tell you, what the F are you talking about? My daughter's in the ground. My 3-year-old baby is no longer here. I cannot hug her. I cannot buy her presents. I can't do anything. She's dead. And you think this is some sort of political sport? Going on television and telling everybody, oh, it's not that bad here, and it's relatively safe, whatever the hell that means, and then we should rethink what safety means. Okay, let me help you rethink what safety means. In case you're wondering, safety means that little girl's still alive. Safety means that 3-year-old girl gets to grow up and see her 4th birthday. She gets to go, hopefully, to church and go through confirmation. She gets to graduate from kindergarten. She gets to graduate from middle school. She gets to graduate from high school, along with the gentleman sitting, the other guy there who's 14. He gets to get his first driver's license and gets to drive his first car, rather. How about we redefine safety as all of that can happen if you get these thugs off the street? That's defining safety. That's redefining it. Hey, each child should be allowed to at least graduate high school. Go to the prom. All those things. It's an easy way to redefine it at this point. Just look at her picture and tell me it's relatively safe.
Basketball game right now, if you'll excuse the metaphor, where the refs have left the arena. And the other side is just clobbering the shit out of us, just punching us in the face, kicking us in the nuts. And we're kind of throwing our hands up and we're asking the crowd, the people of America, hey, do you see what's going on here?
Well, it's nice at this point that we're seeing this crazed Democrat and the stuff he says on stage, but what did he just admit? We're getting our butts kicked. That's why I decided to show old Beto once again. We're Democrats. We're getting our butts kicked. They're just wasting us right now. President Trump is flooding the zone, spanking us like babies, and we can't do anything. So just like they want to redefine safety, he wants to redefine the rules. And of course, here's his definition.
Unfair. This isn't the rules that we agreed to play by. Well, who cares about the rules right now? Punch back, kick back, dunk over their heads, and win some power.
All right, it's August 11th.
Dunk on them. F the rules. Screw it. Let's go all in. Let's punch them in the face, kick them. And there's people on our side of the table who still haven't woken up and realized that we're in a civil war. They're thinking it must be, cannons and muskets. Oh no, this is a whole different kind of civil war. This is a civil war where they're playing for your life in a different way. They're playing to take everything that you hold dear, like a 3-year-old girl. That's playing for keeps. That tells you you're in a civil war when they can tell you that little girl, it happens once in a while. It's no big deal. That tells you what they must think of you. If her death doesn't really mean all that much, it's relatively, it's not that bad, and we just need to punch some people in the face and kick them And we don't need to follow any rules. F the rules. You better understand what they're preparing, because there were people cheering that somebody said, F it. Do whatever you need to do. So while this is going on in Washington tonight, and while, all the people in the media are pretending like, it's safe, there's nothing to worry about, listen to this.
I am outside Union Station in D.C., where folks on the ground are telling me that they are about to start rounding up unhoused people tonight. The folks here at the...
I'm done with them trying to take our language. We got to push back on this one. We acquiesce to, illegal. We acquiesce to baby removal. No, they're not unhoused. They are homeless. Don't let them take it away. Start pushing back. No, they're homeless. I don't know what the hell an unhoused person is, and how it even means the difference between someone's homeless and they're unhoused. Why do you need to change the word? You think it makes them feel better? You think they don't know the difference? They're laying on park benches and pitching tents. But here comes Miss Nosering, and here comes the organization of protesting everything. And listen to this.
In front of Union Station are handing out these whistles to give to unhoused folks. That way they have a way to call for help if they are kidnapped by federal law enforcement. So if you're in the area and able to swing by right in front of Union Station, they have tons of these. Bring them back to folks in your community so they have a way to call for help. If you are not in D.C., I'm going to tag Free D.C.
Call for help. The help is the people talking to them. Hey, you're homeless. You got to get out of here. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to provide you a homeless shelter. You got three choices here, okay? You get to go to a homeless shelter of your choice. Number two, if you're sick, you're going to get to go to a hospital and get cleaned up and see what's wrong with you, especially if you're crazy. And three, you can go to jail. Actually, there's a fourth choice. Get the hell out of here. So you get four choices. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go with me. You can just pick up your tent and head out of here. Or I'll take you to a shelter. I'll take you to a hospital if you got something wrong. Or we'll take you to jail. That's not kidnapping. You don't have a choice to go to jail. You're giving these people a choice. They don't even want them to have choices. And so if they blow the whistle, what in the hell are you going to do? You all gonna come running over and do what? Take the homeless guy out of custody? Good luck.
D Project, they are an excellent organization helping the community here locally. Definitely follow them, support them if you can, and help spread the word, because this is how a fascist authoritarian regime starts. So I will be on the ground in DC reporting on the shit show happening. So stay tuned.
It's not.
Just give me that thing in your nose. I would just like to grab it and go, yeah, how you like that right now, huh? Oh, that hurts. Oh, yeah, now go ahead and cry in a corner somewhere and get the hell out of my face. Go ahead and whistle. I need help. He ripped the thing out of my nose. I can't talk to you. I can't take you seriously when you're sitting around looking like this. Hey, so we're here to make sure you don't take the unhoused person. Get the out of here. But the games are going to finally begin in earnest tonight. The National Guard showed up. The National Guard, along with FBI and all kinds of people, are in D.C. tonight. So good luck, honey. Good luck, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. And this is the guy who is now taking over D.C. on the direction of Pam Bondi and President Trump.
People do not feel safe. The amount of citizens that have come up to me on the street and said, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for taking on another responsibility. We appreciate the federal agents that are out there every single night. And now, starting tonight, we will be embedded with the Metropolitan Police Department. You will see federal agents working hand in hand on patrol with the Metropolitan Police Department. You will also see an increase of activity, patrol activity, in certain sectors to go after the violent criminal offenders that are the drivers of this crime. We cannot afford to turn a blind eye, Martha.
All right, so tonight it will be going down. Tonight we are going to see this stuff happen. So maybe while I'm on tonight, I can capture footage because it's going to get crazy. They're going to roll out the National Guard, everything that we've been waiting for. Tonight is the night that it actually happens. So this should be quite interesting, to say the least. Hold on, I'm just trying to get something lined up. You're going to have the nose ring ladies, and you're going to have the other crazies, and you're going to have the homeless people, and none of them are walking around with submachine guns. I don't know if the National Guard's walking around with submachine guns, but nobody's going to take your crap. It's not this. The title of this video I put up is at this point. Let me show you the picture. Okay, you probably saw the picture, but we're not taking any prisoners. We're not taking any prisoners, and don't expect any mercy. These guys have been given their marching orders, and their marching orders is to clear this place out. This isn't some campus police, lady. This isn't some campus police that are letting you sit there and sing Kumbaya. Nope. They're going to drag you out by your feet. So you better hold on to that nose ring just in case, hands get close to you. But it's coming. Tonight's going to be a good night. I wish there were people walking around with cameras. Maybe later tonight people will do that. We can see what's happening. But I guarantee you, night number one, you're going to see a drastic drop in crime. And God forbid one of these knuckleheads doesn't take a shot at somebody. Please don't do that. Please don't be stupid and do that. But they might. Somebody may feel enough bravado that they're going to take a shot. Remember, these are kids for the most part, 14, 15, 16, 17, running around doing all this crap. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. All right, this is not a protest. No, this is not a protest, and this is not a drill. Don't do it. You'll find yourself in the tank. They're going to have people choking on those whistles. You're right. She fell into a tackle box. Oh my God, that's funny. Not really start till Monday. No, they're going in there tonight. They're going in tonight. Very right. Oh. So they're already getting together. They're already getting together and saying, this is how we're going to fight this stuff here tonight. Okay, we're going to make sure we stand up for the unhoused. What does that mean? Do you think these people who need showers and shaves and haircuts and meals care whether you call them homeless or unhoused? They're living in the street. Yeah, a lot of troublemakers out there. They thrive on it. Don't forget the man buns and broccoli heads. There was a video, I was going to show it. I'm like, YouTube will probably have a problem with it. This light in the loafers guy walks up to a couple National Guard guys and starts with, you stop, you fascist Nazi people. And he had just went to Subway, and he took his sub and threw it at the National Guard guy and ran away. Yes, he was caught. It's out there, but I'm thinking, you know what? If I show that, then the people upstairs might get ticked off and say, Barry, that's showing violence. It was a sub. It was a sub, man. The weapon was some ham and cheese, maybe some hot ham and cheese. That was his weapon. And then he decides he's going to run away from these soldiers. If you get a chance to see it, it's like, oh no, I'm going to jail because I threw a ham sandwich at the guards. I threw a ham. Hey, what are you in here for? I threw a ham sandwich at the National Guard. You must be crazy. I'm going to move away from you like at Alice's restaurant. I moved over here. I was with mother rapers. I was here, father rapers. You guys remember that song? Alice's restaurant. It was too funny. I swear the guy was in the... You saw it, exactly. Oh my gosh, it's too funny. Dems are now on the endangered species list. Shouldn't she be in a dumpster somewhere? Okay, you guys are bad. You guys are bad. It's in the evening. It's a nighttime show, and the nighttime crowd is in here just going crazy. Oh my God, this is the outcome of the Participation Trophy Society. It is. Oh my goodness, it's too funny. All right, before I continue, oh gosh, this is too much. You know, the thing is, you have to laugh. It's sad that the little girl and the other people were killed, but it makes you laugh at the idiocy of the left. I mean, complete, all kinds of disconnecting stuff up there. Oh, goodness. All right, hold on. Before I go to the next segment, I got a new artwork thingy here, and they finally got a website for the Berry knife. I love it. So you guys remember this knife, which doesn't look like that picture. This was the red knife, and it's a good knife, very good knife. But they have since gone to the signature blade, and that's this one. All right, and it says signature blade. And when you open it up, you can see right here that it's a little bit different. Just like the picture on the screen, it's red, white, and blue, and black. But here's the difference. One, it's a lot sharper, so be very, 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 very careful. Number two, it's got the stencil of President Trump's signature right there. All the same mechanisms on it. It's got the quick release open. It's got the window breaker. It's got the seatbelt cutter and everything else. But then again, if you had the seatbelt cutter and you had the knife, couldn't you just take this and just go and cut the seatbelt? Because this thing is sharp. I wouldn't be fooling around with trying to do all this. I would just pull the seatbelt out and just go and cut it. I don't have to worry about the little slicey thing here. I got the knife. A sharp knife would cut the seatbelt pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure. But in any event, you guys would expect that this knife, as big as it is, as heavy as it is, as well made as it is, you would think this thing was going to cost you $70 or $80. But right now, because you're watching this video, if you click on the QR code right there, it should take you to where you can purchase the knife. Except you don't have to purchase it. Go to the QR code or go to berryknife.com, and the knife is free. All you've got to do is pay about a $15 shipping charge, and once you pay that shipping charge, the knife will then be yours, and it will be shipped to you very fast. A lot of people have actually purchased that knife, so go ahead and click on the QR code, get the knife. It's free for you guys here in the Fanfare community. All right, thank you, Patriot Addict, for that. All right, let's continue. Let me put the knife back in here so I don't cut myself or anything. I mean, seriously, it's that sharp. I like to know where this thing is all the time. And it goes right there. All right, so let's continue with the show. Again, tonight, when I get to the point where we're going to jump over, we're going to be watching Hillbilly Elegy. As we plan to jump over it right about 8:05, and again, the movie's like a two-hour movie, so get ready for that. All right, let's continue.
You can walk 40, 50, 60 blocks in Manhattan at 2 in the morning and feel safe. And yet in Washington, D.C., I've got friends that worked in the Biden White House. I have friends that work in the media that say they don't feel safe walking 3 blocks in Washington, D.C. Why can't Washington be fixed, despite what the crime numbers say? Because people aren't feeling it.
You know, often it's the perception of being safe or unsafe that affects cities, and I think that's what's happening.
Why can't they just own up to what's going on? It's your perceived safety. No, I know if I go outside here, or if I go over to the mall, or I go to a restaurant, I don't have the perception of safety. It's safe. There's nobody there to do harm. If it's a bar, there may be a bar fight that breaks up, and once they break them up, the rest of us don't have to scurry. What in the hell are these people talking about with reshaping and rethinking safety and your perception of safety? There's only one perception of safety. I'm good if I decide to go to this place. There is no other perception. This is some of the most artful gaslighting I've seen in the media. So you can try to twist, propaganda with the Nazi and fascism stuff because a lot of people don't know what that is. Oh, it's fascist. Okay. It's Nazi-like. Okay. But no, everybody knows what safety is. There's not a person who's old enough to make their own decisions who doesn't know what safety is. There's no perception. I'm either safe or I'm not. And some people don't even have that perception. I told you when we went to, where did we go? St. Lucia. My wife, myself, and another couple. The other couple was white as well. And we went to a festival. And we saw them big guys come up with the machine guns and say, you guys got to leave. And I'm like, why do we have to leave? It's not safe for you. Oh, I perceived it as being safe. They're looking at you. Who's they? Come on, walk with us. We want you to be safe. And so whatever my perception of safety was then, it was based upon my pre-expectation that I was safe. But I was right. Because when I wasn't safe anymore, there were guys with big guns who came up and said, your wife wore jewelry to the stadium here in St. Lucia, and the bad people are looking at her. Oh, okay. So we're going to escort you to where you need to get to. I was safe. There's no perception. There's no redefining. The definition is I am okay. Nobody's bothering me. But the media doesn't seem to want to tell you that.
In Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. has 3,400 police officers. They're undermanned. The National Guard will provide a presence. And sometimes that's all you need to clear a block or clear a person's mind that it's okay to walk that block. Police presence, or the symbols of police presence. So we'll see how it goes.
Meanwhile, a D.C. police commander is under investigation for allegedly making changes to crime statistics in his district. Tonight, the police department
So everything you've heard the last few days about people, the statistics say it's down by 30%. Well, who was it? Mark Twain told you about statistics and how they lie. Well, you can make statistics look any way you want. Please, I won't get into how they've made the statistics for a certain quarterback down here for the Miami Dolphins make it look like he's doing a good job. I can make anything look the way I want if I shape the statistics a certain way. See, one of the things that people don't talk about in the media is that when they do the statistics on the crime, they don't count the juveniles. Did you know that? They don't count the crimes that the juveniles commit, which are most of the gangbangers. So if it goes down 30%, it's because you're not counting all the crimes. And not one honest media came up with it. I had to dig and find this. I'm like, anything about the statistics, anything about the numbers, anybody jiving this stuff? Oh, here's a story from a local news outlet.
Firm's Michael Pulliam was placed on paid administrative leave in mid-May, a move that came just a week after Pulliam filed an equal opportunity complaint against an assistant chief. And the police union accused the department of deliberately falsifying crime data. News 4's Paul Wagner has the story tonight.
Well, hi there. The D.C. Police Union is putting its allegations on the record tonight, claiming police supervisors in the department are manipulating crime data to make it appear violent crime has fallen considerably when compared to last year. As of today, according to the D.C. Police website, crime is down 25%, a decrease the chairman of the police union calls preposterous. The union's allegations come as the former commander of the 3rd District stands accused of doing what the union says is being done day in and day out.
Now understand, they're still using the numbers on this report that was found to be invalid. They never correct it and say, well, yeah, there's a lawsuit out there right now showing that they've cooked the books. It is a blatant lie how the media talks. I had to dig to find this. And I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't seen this surface anywhere. And there's a huge problem in Washington, D.C., where people are like, hey, man, you're doing stuff to make it look different. You're cooking the books. And the media and all the DEI people are running around regurgitating it, and it's fake. Completely fake.
Areas where we know that
That's Michael Pulliam standing with the chief of police at a recent news conference. At the time, he was the commander of the 3rd District, which patrols the neighborhoods of Adams Morgan and Columbia Heights. In early May, 5 law enforcement sources familiar with the investigation tell News 4 Pulliam was placed on administrative leave with pay and told he was under investigation for questionable changes to crime data. A move that came just about a week after he filed an EEOC complaint against Executive Assistant Chief of Police Andre Wright, according to 3 law enforcement sources familiar with the complaint. The reasons for that later in this story. News 4 reached out to Commander Pulliam for comment. He denied the allegations against him and referred us to the public information officer. As for the union's allegations, Chairman Greg Pemberton laid it all on the table.
When our members respond to the scene of a felony offense where there is a victim reporting that a felony occurred, inevitably there will be a lieutenant or a captain that will show up on that scene and direct those members to take a report for a lesser offense. So instead of taking a report for a shooting or a stabbing or a carjacking, they will order that officer to take a report for a theft or an injured person to the hospital or a felony.
Have you guys seen this? Because this is the local television. I had to dig in all my different databases to find this. I'm like, wait a second. Wait. So they show up at the scene of the crime. I'm like, hey, man, we can't report this as a felonious act. We got to make it seem like it's just kids. They were just trying to steal. But they shot at this guy. Shh. Nobody needs to know this. Bring it down. We need to show it as being 25 or 30% less so that the media can gaslight everybody. And I'm thinking to myself, man, oh man. And because I was wondering, how could there be such a discrepancy when you hear the media talk versus hearing some of the people who live there talk? How could there be such a disconnect? Oh, it's fine over here. We're just going to redefine safety. How about we redefine it as me not getting shot at? Or how about redefine it by actually reporting the statistics and not gumming it up and cooking the books? And so people know about it, and if they know about it, they're getting silenced, they're getting suspended, don't come around here anymore, so that it could look better than it is. It's a crime against the people who live there.
Felony assault, which is not the same type of classification.
Greg Pemberton says the police department's command staff is focusing on 2 categories in order to get the numbers to fall. They are armed with a dangerous weapon, an injured person to the hospital.
When management officials are directing officers to take reports for felony assault, or if they're going back into police databases and changing offenses to felony assault is not a category of crime.
Wait. You hear what he just said there? They're going into the database after the police make the charge and go, no. We can't call this a felonious assault. No, this is, he broke his nail or something. There's no other term other than cooking the books. And the thing with this is that obviously, I don't know how it bled up to President Trump. Well, maybe it probably didn't, because people who live there are like, hey, I can't go out my house. And then you talk to Muriel Bowser, no, it's pretty good. We dropped 30%. And the people of the city are like, hey, you're lying. My friend just got carjacked last week. They've been lying for quite some time. There's a video out where Joe Biden, back when he was Senator Joe Biden, long time ago, when his hair wasn't even gray, and he was talking about he had friends that told him, when you pull up to a stoplight in D.C., do a rolling stop. Don't put your car at a full stop, because if you stop, the bad boys are going to come out the bushes and put a gun to your car and carjack you. Slow down while it's red and wait. When it turns green, hit it. Get out of there. And I'm thinking as I'm watching this video, they've known this for decades. Because it was Joe Biden back in dark hair. This wasn't anything new. This has been going on for decades. How insidious are these Democrats?
Listed on the department's daily crime stats. It's also not something that's a requirement of the FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting Program. So by changing criminal offenses from, for example, ADW bat or ADW gun to felony assault, that would avoid both the MPD and the FBI from reporting that as a Part 1 or a felony offense.
Pemberton says.
How many cities in the country, now that you hear what they're doing in Washington, D.C., how many of these inner cities across the country have they been doing this at? Oh, not that bad this weekend. It's relatively safe. How many people got shot? Just about 15 out of 5 million people. It's not bad at all. When you compare it to wherever you live, it looks really, really bad. But for them, it's relatively safe. Only a few people are dead this weekend.
The union has been gathering evidence for some time now by looking at reports and talking with officers all over the city.
What we've heard through our members and through members of management that are willing to talk with the union is that this is a directive from the command staff, is that they want to make sure that these classifications of these reports are adjusted over time to make sure that the overall crime stats stay down.
So you have to ask yourself, from a political standpoint, it's already a deep, deep, deep blue area. They don't have any worry that a Republican's going to win the vote in the D.C. area. Nope. Muriel Bowser, Marion Barry way before her. It's always been a Democrat stronghold. So they don't have to worry that a Republican's going to win in Washington, D.C. But why is it that they don't want the people to live freely? Why do they want all this havoc? Why would you reduce the numbers to the point where you try to make it look euphemistically good or euphemistically better instead of just cleaning it up? I have a problem with that. Many of you probably have a problem with that. Why are they okay with these cities being in such a problem? I don't know. Especially, I could understand if you're like, hey, listen, if we don't do this, we're going to have problems with the Republicans. They may take control. No Republicans taking control of Washington, D.C. in the near future. No Republicans taking control of Chicago, St. Louis, Baltimore. Not going to happen. So if there's no political motivation to keep these people or these records wrong, what is the reason you don't want to tell the truth? Because now what you have to start really thinking, the real insidious stuff is, you want these people afraid? You want them stuck in their homes? You don't care what these people are doing because it's almost like a proxy staff of yours keeping these people in line? Are you taking kickbacks from the drug sales? What is it? Because if I was the police chief in Washington, D.C., and I came in, I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican run city, I would go in and go, hey, we got to make these people safe. I'm out in the street, and they keep coming up to me and saying, hey, chief, it's really bad out here. Can you do something? Nah, nah, go back. Go back home, whatever. No, I care about people. The reason I would have gotten into law enforcement was, and the reason I became the chief was, I wanted to help people. I wanted people to feel safe. My definition of safe. These are all the things that I think most police officers join the force for. So you get on the force in Washington, D.C., and you show up, and they're downgrading crimes to keep the criminal aspect going. There can only be a few reasons why they're doing that, and none of them are good. Are you taking cuts? Are you taking kickbacks? Are you driving drugs through and trafficking? Why? Why are you doing it? And there's too many cities for it to just be, by chance. If every single one of us in the chat, and I said, all right, in the next 30 seconds, list 5 inner cities with high crime, it would light up. We all know the cities. So, ergo, our test here is if everybody knows and have known for quite some time the no-go areas in certain cities and states, if you could name them without even looking them up, then you have to ask why. Why have they allowed it to go on? You know, I'm not trying to be rhetorical, but I don't know. It has to be kickbacks. It has to get money from whatever illicit activity, whether it's prostitution, whether it's drug sales, whether it's trafficking. There has to be a reason why these inner cities are allowed to flourish with their crime. Because the only other thing you do is you'd clean it up. So if you don't clean it up, and you know it's been dirty, figuratively and literally, for decades, there's a reason why. There's a hierarchy. There's a complete, I don't know, flow chart of who gets what. Because there's obviously, there's a flow there. There is money coming and going to certain people. And it's been that way for decades, and they don't dare mess it up. It's the only reason.
Last Monday, when we spoke with Pemberton, D.C. crime data shows violent crime was down 28%. Today, the department's website says violent crime is down 25% when compared to the same time last year, and overall crime is down 8%.
That's preposterous. There's absolutely no way crime could be down 28%. Last year, they suggested that it went down 34%.
And there's more to the story involving Commander.
All right, so you're hearing the actual cops are going, not a chance. Why is the media? Why are the media not going and talking to this guy? Hey! I dug up this story from a couple years ago, and I found out that the union in D.C. they feel like the police and the higher ups are cooking the books. Why do you feel this way? Well, you can ask the people who work here. You can bring out 50 cops who keep responding to the same thing over and over. But the media doesn't want you to see that. They had the opportunity. When all this started, they had the opportunity to go talk to the police officers in the area.
Pulliam. In April, his wife, Captain Rachel Pulliam, was transferred by Chief Pamela Smith from the Youth Division to Midnights in the 7th District. Subsequently, according to 3 sources familiar with the incident and the timing of it all, Executive Assistant Chief Andre Wright ordered Commander Pulliam to pack up his wife's belongings from Youth Division and move them on his own to his wife's new assignment in the 7th District. Sources familiar with the complaint say Commander Pulliam viewed the order as retaliation. 5 law enforcement sources tell News 4 about a week later, Commander Pulliam's police powers were revoked. Now, Chief...
Oh, this is getting deep. I'm pretty sure Judge Janine and Pam Bondi and Cash are digging into this. That may be why everybody's freaking out. This might be something that's going to go a lot deeper. A whole lot deeper. And I can't wait for it.
Smith declined an on-camera interview, but tells News 4 she cannot comment on an ongoing investigation. And as for the claims made by the union, Chief Smith released this statement. It says, the Metropolitan Police Department is committed to upholding the trust and the confidence of the public. Any irregularity...
Your first sentence is done. You want to uphold the trust and the confidence of the public. That's out the window. The public doesn't trust you. They definitely don't have any confidence in you.
In crime data brought to my attention will be addressed immediately. I do not condone any official reclassifying criminal offenses outside the guidelines set in the MPD policy. Any allegation of this behavior will be dealt with through our...
Why didn't he say this in public? Well, I can answer that question. He didn't write it. He doesn't even know what the word said, probably. Because I would have came out, if you accused me of doing that, I came out and said, no, we don't do that. We take everything seriously. Our first and top job is to make sure these people are safe. We want to have them trust us. We want to have them to have confidence in us. I don't need to write it. I could speak it. This was a cover-up of epic proportions.
Internal processes, which will ensure those members are held accountable. I have the utmost confidence in the command staff leadership currently in place across the Metropolitan Police Department. And one other note, we did reach out to Chief Andre Wright, and he declined to comment.
This one,
he declined to comment. Why? Why did the chief decline comment? You got one job. You have one job as the chief of police. Nothing else. To protect and serve. You've seen it on different cars in LA. That's to keep people safe. That's your job. And you're like, I decline to comment. Who's pulling your strings, bro? There's something going on in these inner cities. We don't know what it is. We can conjure up ideas as to what's going on, but there's definitely something going on in these inner cities. And I think Trump knows. Remember, he's from New York. None of these other politicians or who have risen to his stature really understand what goes on in the dirty parts of the city. They're politicians. President Trump was dealing with the Goombas and everybody else in New York to get permits, to get his buildings, to do all these things. He knows what it takes. And so who knows what's going on? Baltimore, I told you, it's the pastors. Trust me, it's the pastors. They run that town. Washington, I'm not sure. But there is definitely some corruption that is so big and is so well funded because it's been entrenched for decades. Not last year, not the year before that, not when Biden was there. These inner city neighborhoods have been corrupt for decades. And every single black person who's ever grew up near, in, or around these areas will tell you, number one, I'm getting out. I'm done. If I can get myself to a position where I can get out of here, I'm done. And then you get constantly attacked when people say, you forgot where you came from. And I've told you this before. I don't forget where I came from because that's the motivation to keep me from going back. Please, spare me that. Nobody wants to be involved in this crap. You're sentenced. That's your prison. So every single person that has the ability to escape that area will do everything they possibly can with business and education, sports. Get me the hell out of here. And notice when people really make it out of these communities, what do? They go back and they help the kids. They're not helping the city. They all know. We all know. We grew up in it. It ain't the city we want to help. We want to help these kids before they get too far into the clocking mentality. Let's help these kids. Let's make it so, this doesn't become the everyday norm, that you don't see three-year-old little girls getting killed with gunfire. Unfortunately, I've been around that. I've been around it, not really close, but I know certain areas where kids were getting killed. And this isn't like traffic or anything. This is just gang violence. And it's been going on. I'm 64. So that tells you how far I can reach back. There's got to be a reason.
Making more radical changes to the country and to the White House that'll live well beyond his presidency.
Right. And I think part of it is because he now knows how government works. I think one of the things that really is the key difference between the first term and the second term is that he had a whole host of characters in the government that were trying to stymie his efforts to radically change the country. He's now surrounded by people that are fully supportive of his agenda and helping him do it. He is way more effective at accomplishing his agenda with having that time out of office because a lot of his aides, Russ Vought, those sorts of officials spent their time out of government planning for this term. And so what they've done is an onslaught of executive orders in the first 6 months that accomplished a lot of their goals very quickly because he knew what they wanted to do.
All right. I don't know who that guy was, but he nailed it. He's like, I don't know who he had working around him before, but he's got the best of the best of the best working with him right now. And as I've told you, one of the things that, if you haven't done it, go back to the website, not the White House, go back to Donald J. Trump's page. Go to that website. On it, he's got his entire agenda. And on it, he's got a slew of like 45 different videos that tell you, this is what I'm going to do. And it's like people completely ignored it. They didn't realize, damn, was he serious? I'm pretty sure if I go to the website right now, and if you haven't been there, let me be the first to show you. Because I'd like you, in part of whatever homework you guys want to take, to go to his website. Let me just pull it up before I continue. Here we go. All right, so this is Trump's website. This is while he was on the campaign trail. All right, can we all see it now? Okay. This was his website. I've showed you guys this before. This isn't whitehouse.gov. This is the Trump Vance website. And there's different parts of this website. Let me see if I can navigate it. Right here, if you go to platform, and it gives you the 20 things that he was going to do. And you can go through these things one at a time, and you can see all of the stuff that he planned on doing. Then you're going to want to go to, let me see if I can find out where it is. There is a page in here. Wait a minute, because now that he's in office, it's a little bit different. Let me see if I can find it. So you guys can see it. Hold on, let me do some work in here, because it's really interesting, and I think you'll want to see it. See if this is it. All right. So if you go to this page, and it's donaldjtrump.com/agenda47, and the first one here is a video, and then down here under agenda 47 are a bunch, and again, these aren't videos from the last couple weeks. This is what he put out months ago. Declares war on cartel, ending veteran homeless, no welfare for illegal aliens, the American Academy, message to auto workers, and on and on and on. And there are so many videos. He told everybody in advance, this is what I'm going to be doing. Look at it. Look at all these videos. They're all there. Ending birthright citizenship. Nobody should have been surprised. He told you. And everything right there. And there's pages and pages of them. This is page 2. And when you get to page 2, let me go back up to the top now. These are all the videos just on page 2. And it starts with ending nightmare of homeless, drug addicts, dangerously deranged, liberating America. He keeps saying liberation. You guys need to go to that site because the media is not telling you, and there's so much information. So everyone's like, hey, what's he doing? He's doing what he told you he was going to do. I guess most people aren't used to politicians saying, I'm going to do this, and then when they get in office, I'm going to do it. Listen to what he said about what's going on in Washington right now.
Biden and the defund the police Democrats have turned our once great cities into cesspools of bloodshed and crime. There's never been anything like it. Here's my plan to restore law and order in our cities and throughout our country, frankly. In cities where there has been a complete breakdown of law and order, where the fundamental right of our citizens are being intolerably violated, I will not hesitate to send in federal assets, including the National Guard, until safety is restored.
Look, let's be honest.
No surprise. He told you. In those cities, it didn't say Washington, D.C. In those cities where there's no safety, I won't hesitate to send the National Guard in. And everyone's shocked. Oh my God, what's he doing? He's doing exactly what he told us he would do. He's doing exactly why he was elected, the things that people elected him on. Forget the Epsteiniacs. There's nothing on that website about Epstein. But everything that's on there, he's actually doing. And so when I see these videos and I go back and I'm like, oh man, he's actually doing what he said. So you can pretty much predict what's coming. This is what I've been trying to tell a lot of people in terms of, I'm not a Svengali. I don't have any crystal ball. I just look at what he said he's got to do. You can literally go to this website and go, okay, I haven't heard this one yet, and because I haven't heard this one, oh, that's coming. Firing the radical Marxist prosecutors. That's coming. Dismantle the deep state and return to the American people. In process, ending Biden's war in the suburbs, and it just take your time and go through that and go, oh, I haven't heard that one yet. That's coming, right? Yeah, it's coming. And so all I do is I sit back and I watch and I go, oh, that's video number 28. That's the one he said he was going to go in and send the National Guard into the cities. Damn if he ain't doing it. And everyone acts surprised in the media, and this man went and told you. By the way, he's doing this one on Friday. Hold on. Let me put this one up. Yeah. Preventing World War III on Friday. He's doing it. So, if you haven't been to that website, I urge you, if you want some deep insight to where things are headed, you want to know where the puck is going to be, spend some time on that website. Figure out the ones you've seen, and then go, wait a second, he hadn't done this one yet. Let me search. When's that going to come? And when it comes, you're like, I knew. I knew it was coming. Don't count on the media to show you. This is what he posted a long time ago, sometime during the campaign. So it's pretty simple. Now listen to what Tim Burchett says here. I love what Tim Burchett says here, and then we'll jump over and watch the movie. What? Listen to this.
That's in this country. All the race baiters on both sides. It's just like overseas in these wars and everything else. If we have peace, they are out of power. They are in business to stir it up, both sides, left and right. And that's on me, and that's on you all at CNN as well. Because, I mean, look what's happening in Cincinnati right now. These people got the heck kicked out of them, could have died right there, and now some folks are hollering at these folks that got beat up that it was their own fault. It's their business to stay in power. If we have peace, if we start listening to the Bible and going to church on Sunday and holding our brothers' hands and talking to them about this stuff's over, but they don't want it.
Yeah, he's right, isn't he? If we start going to church and understanding what's happening with us, they can't win. They can't possibly win. Maybe that's why they want people at each other's throats. Because their worst nightmare is for people to do actually that.
They want to stay in power, and they continue preaching this hate on both sides. We gotta cut that stuff out, man. We got too many big fish to fry. And in this world, you look at the Middle East, look at Ukraine, all that. If peace breaks out, Putin and Zelensky are out of power. Look what happened to Winston Churchill. Carried England. He saved the world, literally. And then right after, they kicked him out.
See, you can't speak to people when they have no idea what history is all about because nobody has taught them. You know the old adage, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it? Well, in these communities, they repeat it over and over because they don't know history. They don't know history because it's not being taught in the schools and definitely not being taught at home. And then we're doing the same thing when it's a very, very easy way to fix it. We have the blueprint. The blueprint has been in place. But they don't want you seeing it, they don't want you following it, and they definitely don't want you talking about it.
It's just a game with these folks, and it's a moneymaker, and it keeps them in power. And it's a shame because the poor people get used and abused, and it's wrong.
All right, so I had to freeze it on here because I wanted you to see this. This was, or is, the highest violent crime rates among major U.S. cities. What do you notice about those cities? Well, it's pretty easy. It's not really hard to see what's going on in those cities. This is on CNN. CNN posted this. I had to freeze frame it because I'm like, wait a second. Did CNN just post this? Memphis, Detroit, Baltimore, Kansas City, Milwaukee, Washington, Denver, Nashville, Houston, Albuquerque. There's a common denominator there. And that common denominator is pretty easy to see. You know what it is. They don't like you talking about it. They don't want you even telling people, hey man, I'm seeing something in common here. We're able to fix this if we get together. Why are every one of these cities on this chart here? They've been this way for a long time. I know two of them well. I know Washington, I know Baltimore. I haven't spent a lot of time in the other cities. Some of you obviously know some of these other cities. And so you're sitting here nodding your head and you're going, yeah, yeah, known it for a while. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. We're going to have to change it. And that's what President Trump is doing. Tim Burchett is absolutely, absolutely correct. But I don't think he can do it by himself. That's why he has to call in the Marines and National Guard and everything else. We got to stop this. It's absolutely insane. Enough already. Enough already. Go back to the family. Get the family built up again. Get the families in place. Go back to church. You don't have to be, a zealot, but just start learning what it means to be a family again. Most of these people in these cities don't have families, full families. Who knows where the dads are? It disgusts me, absolutely disgusts me. I'm not going to preach, so let me just go on. Yeah, you're right, Richard. Most of the conservatives moved out. Absolutely. Portland and Seattle are crap now. I know, born in Seattle in the 1960s and left 3 years ago. Yeah. Flint, Michigan. Wow, I didn't know that. Flint, Michigan is bad. What's this? Somebody said, we don't go to Detroit for anything. Man, there's some of these places are crazy. Memphis is rough. That surprised me. I didn't think that Memphis, Tennessee was that bad. And then people have been telling me, Memphis is really bad. When I called on accounts in Milwaukee, in the city, my brothers made me leave by 2:30 p.m. You don't want to be here when the sun goes down. Wow. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Dang, you would think Chicago would be on that list number one. Yeah, not even one of them. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I have Judge Janine's press conference here, but I ran too late, so we got to jump to the movie because I don't want you guys here all night. So I'll play Judge Janine's press conference tomorrow in case you haven't seen it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, I'm sorry I ran over, but we're going to go ahead and jump over in a second to watch the movie. Let me put up the banner so you guys can get there. All right, so while I'm doing super chats, you guys can get over there and get comfortable, get your popcorn together. This movie is a movie about J.D. Vance and his life. He actually wrote the book, Hillbilly Elegy, and I am surprised. Number one, I guess he wasn't even talked about in terms of being a presidential candidate, but I'm surprised the amount of lefties that are actually in the movie portraying his family. And I'm like, okay, and the director, in case you want to know, was Ron Howard. So it's very interesting. I hope you guys enjoy it. It gives you a side of J.D. Vance that you probably don't know. All right, so let's look at the super chats and then we'll jump over there. Naomi, thanks for the movie. This is a rerun for me, but I like it. When I first watched it, I didn't know what J.D. Vance was. Exactly. Hey, BLS, dude with white hair looks like a paintbrush head. Yeah, he'd stick out like a sore thumb in Washington at about 2 a.m. Demon of Cybertron. Wait, at the top of it. Beto is a Gavin Newsom mini-me. What an idiot. Robert McLean, not only can you indict a ham sandwich, you can be indicted for a ham sandwich. Fume drummer, very little improves in D.C. unless they change bail laws and the ability to charge minors, which is why they've got to do it as soon as they get back in town. Leaders, no, Barry, you were only safe because people were looking out for you. It is not safe in America right now, but Trump, our dear president, is looking out for us and is working to make our perception a reality again. Good point. Tilly, hi to Barry. Hello, Tilly. We've been busy helping our son and daughter-in-law cancer. Oh, sorry to hear that. Not only does she have bone cancer, but now it's in her ribs and kidneys. So sorry. So sorry. Tilly, thank you everyone for our prayers and caring. Just to let you know, Tilly and others, we are going to be doing the next prayer morning. We're going to be doing it in mornings now. So next Monday at 10 o'clock, we're planning on doing another prayer meeting. And by the way, the Bibles are going out fast. Robin is doing a great job getting these Bibles shipped out. And one, it's all about depopulation. These are the same nuts that want to thin us out. Yep. Tilly, I may not be on for days or even months, but I'd be listening to the show. Please don't forget me. Ain't nobody gonna forget you, Tilly. Nobody gonna forget you. We'll pray for you. Michelle Gallagher, thank you. Erwin Ow, best news source out there. Mahalo. Mahalo, thank you very much. And Beverly Litton, just think of the generations of America who think this is chaos. Many weren't around in the days of civility. Nope, they ruined our youth. They completely ruined our youth. All right, so no, somebody asked, is the movie going to be shown on YouTube? No, the movie's not going to be shown on YouTube. You got to go to this address right here. So what happens at this point is I'm going to play the break music, which is the golf club Trump Doral, and you're going to see that come out. When that comes on, YouTube will stop. The stream will stop, and there will be no longer any video on YouTube. So you got to make sure you go to that link, and it'll take you to where the movie's going to be shown. All right? Everybody set? Everybody ready? All right, here we go.